The Bloom Bar at Pearl is over, and now I can finally see what all the planning and setup actually led to. Today I'm sharing what I sold, whether the $25 bouquet or $40 bouquet did better, whether the Facebook event that I set up turned into real interest, and what this whole event taught me about growing sales here at Pearl. Before I share the results, I wanted to show you how Pearl turned out for the morning of the Bloom Bar pop-up. I tried to make the inside feel simple, welcoming, and easy to shop, with the bouquet recipes clearly visible and the flowers grouped in a way that made sense for people building their own bouquets. I also kept some grab-and-go bouquets and merch inside, but didn't want the space to feel too crowded. Then outside, under the tent, I used that area for wrapping, checkout, and overflow, so I had a little more room to work. The whole setup was really about making this small space work well for both customers and myself. Overall, the whole event went really well. It started off really slow and I was kind of nervous, but around lunchtime, I guess, it started to kind of pick up. Most people that came today were new to me clients. There were a couple loyalty customers, which I always love seeing them. It's great to just connect and see how they're doing. I know some of them had missed me because I hadn't been at the farmer's market. So it's always nice to keep that connection. And it's nice for them to come here to Pearl and check this out because they haven't been here before. So as of this morning, there were 79 people marked interested in the Facebook event. I had, including husbands, I had 30 people approximately show up today. I lost track at one point because it got really busy and it was just me kind of helping people out. But 30 people is a pretty good amount, including husbands, showing up because they're engaged. They're very impressed by this shed conversion. Their wives are really excited about the flowers. So that is a great, I think, turnout for the day for here. As far as using Facebook as a gauge, they say usually 20% is what you can kind of expect. So I had 79 people. 20% of that was like 15.8 people. So I had actually, like I said, 30-ish people show up, which isn't bad. That's a good amount. I think it's a decent gauge I can rely on moving forward because I know at my past events I've had around the same amount, anywhere from 80 to 150 people interested. And I've had a similar turnout as to that I've had today. I would say actually a better turnout than today, but one was for Mother's Day, so that's always a bigger turnout. And the other one was a spring fling that we did in March with tulips. And I think people were just so hungry for flowers. That also had an incredible turnout. If you want to hear the final numbers, make sure you watch just a little bit longer, and I'm going to tell you what that number is. And the only bottleneck today was me. People really want my help with picking out flowers, and I am so happy to do that. But when there's a few people here at a time to help somebody pick out flowers and then check them out or arrange the flowers, wrap them, and check them out, I'm pretty quick, but it can still get backed up a little bit. So I'm really the only bottleneck, but I don't want people to have a bad experience. I want them to feel comfortable with what they're picking and choosing and be happy with their arrangements. So it would have been nice if I had maybe somebody who could help like check somebody else out so I could kind of move on to the next person. But my husband was, he's usually really good about helping me, but he had a wedding today. He's a wedding photographer, so he wasn't able to assist with that today. But in the future, I just might, if these continue to grow and do well, I might consider having another person here just to help with even just the checkout portion, like I said, because it can get backed up a little bit. Now, the biggest question I have is, how do I keep this momentum going? It was a really good day actually for me for as far as sales go, better than I would have at a farmer's market. Granted, yes, it was longer, and just being able to, like I said, draw people into here and have that momentum keep going. I had some really great conversations with people. I think time will tell how well our sales kind of hopefully uptick. I know I just need to be really a lot more consistent about talking about Pearl, talking about when we're open. I know it's really hard because I feel like I'm a broken record, but the reality is people aren't seeing every post I put out there. I asked a couple people today how they heard about the event. Most of them, like I said, were Facebook. One was Eventbrite, and then the rest were just passerbys. They happened to be driving by. They went down to the rotary, did a loop, and came back, or they were coming from the other way and like had to turn around. So it was kind of a mix, which was interesting because it's not the first time that we've been open on a Saturday. So I think because it looks more like there's something going on today, people were more inclined to stop and pull in. So that was kind of interesting to see happen as well. Okay, now to get into the numbers. So I had planned for 10 $25 bouquets and 10 $40 bouquets. And I panicked a little bit this morning and I did harvest some extra dahlias, zinnias, and cosmos. And I am so glad that I did because, like I said, I did a little bit more than I thought I would in some regards. So let's start with the $25 bouquet. I sold 9 of those total, so almost my 10, and then along with 2 pre-made bouquets. So I had $25 pre-made bouquets on the bottom of my bloom bar bouquet holder behind me. So I sold 2 of those along with 9 of the actual bloom bar bouquet recipes. I was surprised that I also sold 7 of the $40 bespoke bouquets. And one lady actually stopped by and she bought 4 of them. And I was kind of had a panic attack for a second. I'm like, oh my God, that's 20 dahlias. There goes all my dahlias. Like, no, I planned for this. So that was an awesome sale. So she bought 4 $40 bouquets plus a $20 Lysianthus bunch. And she was using all of the flowers for a bridal shower tomorrow. So that was an awesome sale. It was super exciting. And rather than mixing up, like making mixed bouquets, what we did is we packaged everything. So all the Lysianthus were together, all the dahlias were together, all the foliage was together. So that way she could kind of make the arrangements herself for the baby shower tomorrow. So that was a great sale. She had never been here before. She was so excited to find us. She was actually on her way driving to go get flowers and saw that we were open. So again, not from the Facebook event, just happened to be passing by. So that was awesome. So those were the sales. I am kind of in shock that they were almost equal to each other, really. The $40 bouquets, they're really nice. They're big. They feel great. As you're putting them together, they feel hefty for the $40. I don't feel like I needed to have a lower price point in here at all at this point. I think those 2 price points are ideal. And then as far as the other things that sold, this was kind of interesting. So I sold 1 t-shirt, 1 sweatshirt, the 1 Lysianthus bunch, which I just talked about, 1 sticker, and then this was really a shocker, 4 vases. So I bought in these vases back here. I had 2 different sizes and I sold 4 of them today, which is like almost half of what I had bought in because I really didn't know what to expect or how well they would do. And technically 6 did go today. And I'll talk about that in a moment, why I'm down 6, but sold 4, I'm accounting to 4 in my total sales. And then the other thing that I sold that was really exciting was a dahlia subscription. So my dahlia subscription starts in 2 weeks. I kind of closed the doors on that last Friday, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to pause taking it off the website because I knew I was doing this event today and sometimes people just don't hear about it, right? So I was talking about it with a woman and she signed up like immediately. So that was a $150 sale for that dahlia subscription as well. So just another avenue of people being able to get our flowers. Very happy with that. No sales on the workshops at this point, but I have a feeling that most of these people did get on my email list. The QR code was scanned, so it might just be a matter of them getting home, figuring out their calendars, and hopefully purchasing tickets. So that could lead to a few more sales, which would be awesome. So now for the 2 other vases. So the other thing that happened today. So I had all those great sales. And then a few months ago, I had donated 2 $50 gift certificates to one of our organizations here in town. I'm happy to give back to the community when I can. And one lady won both of these gift certificates. So she came today. She had never been here before. She was super thrilled. So with her $2 $50 gift certificates, she ended up getting 2 different face sizes, a t-shirt, and a bunch of lisianthus. And then the other giveaway we did today was for this event, I ran a little giveaway on Facebook that if you tagged a friend, you and your friend would get a $25 bouquet each. So the lady that won came, her and her partner, and she was so excited. So she got her basically $50 worth of flowers, and they were so excited about the lisianthus. So that was awesome. So those were a giveaway item. And again, like I said, so happy to do that because they drove all the way here. It was her birthday, or her birthday's coming up. So it was really nice in that sense as well. She felt really lucky and special to be chosen for that giveaway. So those were like the things that I didn't make money on today, but I think the experiences were really well that you never know, it could turn into attending a workshop or just coming back to buy maybe bulbs in the fall, things like that. Overall, today was a great day. I am super pleased with the turnout. Even my husband earlier said he was starting to feel a little nervous for me because it was really quiet when we first started, but it really picked up. So overall today we did, including the Dahlia subscription and the sales of the bouquets and everything else, was $858. And I'm super pleased about that. That is almost double, over double what I would make at a farmer's market. It's been really quiet for the month of July and this early part of August. I kind of build my business that way intentionally because it's hot. I don't like going to the markets. So it's nice to have kind of an uptick again in sales. And I think this will be a good swing into the Dahlia season. So to kind of keep the momentum going because we have a bunch of events coming up. So I'm hopeful that this Bloom Bar pop-up will keep things moving forward. Hopefully I've gained some traction and I'll have to do an update maybe in a month or two to see how the sales of Pearl have hopefully improved. One of the common themes I heard from today was, I drive by here all the time. I was like, oh, that's great. Do you know we're open Fridays and Saturdays? And the answer was generally no, they didn't know that. So people are driving by this road constantly. I think part of it is they just don't see it. We do have like a sandwich board, A-frame type sign that we put out when we are open, along with an open flag right on the road. So I think that the drive-by piece is something I want to explore a little bit more, again, with getting better signage at different points where people are driving by our house, so on the rotary and just down the other way, to see if that maybe even captures more people who are driving by. So that's something I'm going to look into. Having all of the paper for my wrapping of the bouquets was prepared was super helpful. I had layered my tissue paper and my craft paper, so all I had to do was place the bouquet on top, fold up the tissue paper, put a piece of tape on it, and then fold up my craft paper and staple that quickly, and they were good to go. So that part, I've gotten pretty quick at that, is really pretty straightforward. But if you ever want to see a video on how I wrap my bouquets, let me know down in the comments below. I'd be happy to do one for you guys. And then the other thing that worked really well, because I've already gotten 2 Google reviews. I don't know if you guys recall, but I said I put a little QR code on the back of the bouquet recipe cards that I made. Some people grabbed them, some people didn't, but I've already gotten 2 Google reviews. That's 2 more than I didn't have before, so I'm pretty pumped about that. Also, email list. I had added people to my email list today, so I'm not sure how many I added. I'll have to look at the numbers later, but I think I've got at least 10 more email addresses because most people did accept and say yes, they wanted to be on the newsletter. So that's awesome. It's 10 more people that I hopefully bi-weekly can, share what's going on here at the farm, and when we have something coming up can help promote it via the newsletter. As far as what I would do differently next time, I might shorten the hours of this event. The last hour has been pretty much dead, and that's okay. I think if it was a shorter window, people might feel more of a sense of urgency to get here at a certain time, and then I could just wrap it up sooner. But I'm home. I've been able to do other things as well, so not totally the end of the world. But I think having a shorter window would be helpful. I promoted this as from 10 to 5 p.m. I could probably have done 10 to 2, something like that, and just shorten it up a bit. Overall consensus for Pearl is they loved her. I mean, so many people took pictures and did tag us in those on Instagram and Facebook. So that's awesome. I mean, it's such an inviting space when you walk in. It really does feel very warm and welcoming. And it's just a really calming space as well. So that was great to see people's reactions to Pearl, because I know I'm obsessed, but I also created it. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, keep growing and dreaming.